Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and it is that time of the month once again where we have some champion rebalances. This time it's two legendaries, and both ones who I think really deserved a buff, so I'm very happy about that. The first one is the bigger of the buffs. This is a huge rework, honestly, to the kit. It's Narma the Returned. Visually, one of the coolest champions in the game. Gameplay-wise, one of the worst. Like, she looks so sick. The VFX on like the blood, like shadow blood, it's so cool, and she is so rubbish. Oh, wrong one. Come back to that in a sec. Let's see what's changed with her. So, while poison debuffs got a breath of fresh air recently, it's one way to Arachnelixir put it, we thought one specific poisoner could use some rebalancing love. So here's a new look at an upgraded Narma the Returned. With a base speed increase, she's ready to compete with your other poison champions of choice, okay? She's also flaunting a shiny new passive that automatically applies poison when her team is hit, all while reducing the damage her enemies deal. Her main upgrade, however, is a devastating new ability to detonate all poisons on all enemies at once, ensuring no one can escape her venomous touch. Be sure to build her with enough accuracy your opponents won't be able to resist her poisonous charms. Cool. Let's see what has actually changed. So her A1 used to be a 60% chance increase 3 debuffs by 1 turn. Now it's a 75% chance to increase all debuffs by 1 turn. Makes it way better. Yeah, so much better A1. Her A2 used to be the decrease attack for 3 turns that would heal everyone, scaling based off of the number of poisons on them. Now it's single target attack, again a 3-turn cooldown, decrease attack for 3 turns, leech on all enemies, that books to 100% chance, and activate all poisons on all enemies, and heals all allies by 25% of her max HP. So you would have had to have 5 poison debuffs out there before to get a 25% max HP heal. So they straight up buff that. It does everything it did before, but a much stronger heal. A leech, AoE leech, and AoE poison activation. This champion before, you can probably see her before, was very much a single target champion. She's going to be, yeah, way better now. Her A3 used to be single target, 3 poisons and poison sensitivity. Now it's single target, 3 poisons, poison sensitivity. If the initial target is already under 3 or more debuffs, puts 3 poison debuffs and poison sensitivity on all enemies for 3 turns instead. And the cooldown has gone down, so it is a 3-turn cooldown now. Whereas before it was 4-turn. It's actually shocking that used to be 4-turn. So it's a 3-turn cooldown. That is a big buff. Yeah, okay, great. Then she now has a passive caustic rebuttal. Whenever an ally is attacked, has a 25% chance of putting a poison debuff on the attack for 2 turns. Whenever she is attacked, the chance increases to 50. Enemies under poison do 5% less damage for every poison on them, up to 25%. Woo-wee, okay, she is really way better now. She's actually really good. Oh, and her base speed went from 95, which is terrible, to 100, which is good for 2025 standards. Like, not insane, but it's good. Yeah, so Narma's really good now. So you now have the 3-turn cooldown, triple poison, poison sensitivity. Then you follow it up with decrease attack, leech, and poison explosion with the team heal. You can extend debuffs on her A1. That will work well with ally attack. Putting out poisons with their passive. It's actually going to be very good for Chimera. Yeah, it's a solid Chimera kit, enabling a few trials as well. So that's definitely part of the intention. Should be way better for Demon Lord. Obviously very strong for Demon Lord now. Should be very good for Dragon. Really, a lot of the normal dungeons, a lot of the hard mode dungeons are immune to poison. A lot of later game bosses are just straight up immune. If they're not immune to poison, though, she's really good. And Wave Clear is very strong. So long as you get some poisons out there, you can then blow them all up. There's some strong combos in the faction as well. Tomb Lord can put out 4 poisons AoE. That's an incredibly good combo with the two of them. Yeah, and you've got lots of champions can put out multiple debuffs. Mad Hatter was a fusion this year. Very good for that. You've got Calvalax in this faction as well. Empress can put out some debuffs. He's a free champion everyone can get. Yeah. The epics are less good for poisons. I don't think there's anything much there. Cool. That's a huge buff to Narma. That's actually very strong. Yeah, very strong. And yeah, that's insane. Fun passive. The passive probably better than it seems. You can give her Sniper to make it a 30% chance or 55. Presumably multi-hits. It's whenever they're attacked. I don't know if it will trigger per hit. It could be very strong against multi-hits, really stacking a lot of poisons. Yeah, that's pretty sick. That's very powerful. She won't really be good for arena. I mean, in theory, she could be okay, right? Arachnelixir, lethal dose, AoE poisons, sure. But she's not going to be top tier there. But yeah, Narma is way better. Huge buff. This is one of the biggest buffs they've done. Much needed. So yeah, very cool. Next up, then, we've got Belletar Mage-slayer. So, Plarium is buffing. I said, we love our ogre and fellas. You might have noticed by now, haven't you? Yeah, Plarium, they're buffing an ogre, it feels like, constantly. Let me just double check that. So, he is a void legendary for the ogres. They've buffed Gurgo, Togron, now Belletar, and Diamant. Only Grazur and Klazak, the two that were good by default, Void Legendaries, have not been buffed. They've buffed the other 4. They've buffed over half of the Void Legendaries in this faction. They're really trying to make Ogres better. Today, it's time for Belletar to step into his role as a Premier Reviver. Great. Again, he really needed a buff, so this is great. Again, we start with an increased base speed. Can't go wrong with that, especially for a Reviver. Additionally, everything he did before, he now does better. From a guaranteed cooldown reduction to providing an essential turn meter fill. He didn't do that before. I mean, he did cooldown reduction before, so I can see how they might make it better. I'm pretty sure he didn't do any turn meter. Okay. So that seems like something entirely new. Anyway, his signature revive is now much safer as he protects allies with the block debuffs buff. And Belletar can now rotate through his skills faster thanks to the ability to reduce his own cooldown when an ally is killed. Friendly Neighborhood Ogren will always have your back now more than ever. So let's take a look at what has changed with him. So here we go. Base speed from 98 to 103. Yeah, that's definitely needed. He's still not mega fast. Okay, well, let's look at this. I see, yeah, there's turn meter boost here. Okay. So this A1 used to be a 30 booking to 50% chance to decrease skill with the ally the highest turn meter by a turn. Now it's 100%. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually a little bit surprised that isn't stronger. I will be honest. So, I mean, the big one that stands out to me would be Ancora. There's another champion as well, who I can't remember, but she has, I guess she has a 50-50 actually. So she's a 50-50 to decrease the skill by 2 turns. And this guy, he's going to have 100% chance to do it by 1 turn. I don't know. Which would you prefer? It's a bit tough to say. Again, I wouldn't have objected to him always reducing someone by 1 turn, by 2 turns. Maybe you could build like some really OP sort of exploity teams. I don't know. Like have a Marius go and then have him reduce him by 2 turns and he goes again 100%. But you can sort of do that anyway. I don't know. Anyway, look, it is what it is. 100%, 1 turn cooldown reduction. I mean, it's a good A1 for sure. His A2 Slayer's Roar is an AoE attack still, increased attack and increased defense, okay. Heals everyone 20% of his max HP. So the new thing is a 20% turn meter boost. That's really solid. So he's only 103 base speed. He's not going to be a turn meter booster for Arena, or at least not your primary one. He'd be an okay secondary one. I doubt he's going to be that good for Arena. But for anywhere where you are using him, like turn meter boosting in the kit is nice. Mercy of the Oasis is A3, used to be a revive, so it's a revive, half HP turn meter, shield equal to 20% of his max HP, and gives them block debuffs for 2 turns on everybody. I wonder if he can use that. Like, is it a Raka Viletide style revive, where he can use it for just block debuffs on its own? Or can he only use this move if somebody dies? I mean, it's certainly going to be very good, obviously, for Faction Wars, for Hydra, for Chimera. That's great. Cool. Okay. Critical Juncture's passive used to be a 50, so a 70% chance of decrease in ally skills. They've increased it to 75 plus 25 now, so 100% to decrease ally skill cooldowns when they are revived by 1 turn, and then once per turn, if an ally is killed, reduce the cooldown of all of this champion's skills by 1 turn. Okay, so we put this stuff together. So Belletar, I think he still has a problem of where do you use him? Where is he insanely good? I think he's much better for clan bosses now. So it seems like Faction Wars, Cursed City, clan bosses, that's sort of his gig. Doesn't seem that good for Arena, although, look, you know, they start killing you, he's going to get some cooldown reduction, but it's still a 4-turn cooldown AoE revive, even if you get 1 turn off of it. You know, it's still 3 turns. It's still going to take a while to get back there. He could be okay. He could be okay in Arena, but I don't think that's his real thing. I do think he's a lot better. Like, against Hydra, and, well, certainly against Chimera, increased attack and increased defense. He gives you the healing and reviving, so he'll keep you alive. Increased attack and defense is good for some trials. Yeah, I don't know. It's still a little bit awkward. Great for Faction Wars. Ogres is pretty rough for Faction Wars. He's stupidly good for that, obviously. Yeah, I think this is a good buff. I still feel like I'm not 100% on board. I love the passive change. I think that's great. The A1 change is good. I like the idea that he's giving you the cooldown reduction. I'm not... The turn meter boost is obviously a nice power boost. It doesn't really fit his theme all that well, I would say. It's just like, okay, that's a nice thing to have on his A2, but I mean, I don't know. It's not really fitting a theme. And I'm very curious whether or not his A3 will work without dead allies. I suspect it probably won't. What does Raka say? It's both. It's a pro and a con, to be honest. At least he does have cooldown reduction built in, so she can use this even if there's no dead allies. Obviously, he basically has that move, but better. He basically has her revive, but also with a shield. But he can't use it on his own. Yeah, he's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think about him? Like, he would have been... I mean, another reviver with debuff removal would have been like, oh my god, come on, bro. But like, debuff removal would have been way stronger than the turn meter boost for what he's doing. He's not really fitting into speed sort of teams, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly a nice buff. So there we go. I mean, we've got Belletar, we've got Narma. I think the buff to Narma is massive. That's very exciting, I think, to a lot of players. And yeah, it definitely opens up Chimera stuff. Hugely opens up some regular dungeon stuff. Faction Wars, it's a relatively tough faction until you get the mythicals and legendaries and whatnot. So this is she's a legendary as well. You just got to pull her, but big buff to her. I think that's great. Belletar, it's great to see him getting buffed. I think he's certainly better. I don't know if it's going to radically or drastically change where you use him, though, really. He's just going to be... Yeah, he's just sort of better at what he was already doing, but I don't know if that he's really going to enter any teams that he wasn't in before. Probably not. So, like, he's probably still like, oh, I pull this guy, grand. Ogre and Faction Wars, I can farm it easy peasy. But apart from that, probably not that useful. I don't know. Guys, let me know what you think, especially if you have Belletar. Are you excited? I have Narma. She sat in the vault the whole time. By the way, with Narma, she still has a problem. She needs so many bucks to buck out, but she's significantly better now. She's actually a good champion now, so that is cool. Give me your thoughts on the buffs in the comment section down below. I'm curious what you think. I think Narma, excellent. I'm slightly disappointed, I think, with Belletar. I'm slightly disappointed, but it's still good that he got a buff. Yeah, that's what I think. There we go. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.